It is called Americans at War. We start with the French and Indian War in 1754. Union wearing a British uniform at that time, worn by General Washington. This is Washington long before he was a general. Fighting in the French and Indian War. He wanted the American, or the people in the colonies, to pay for it. We had a problem with that because we didn't have any input into it. That's called taxation without representation. British uniform in the 1770s. You can compare that uniform with the ones these guys are wearing. This is known as the Boston Massacre. Battle of Lexington. And they moved on to Concord. April 19th, 1775. And what we had was that the British put their troops in Americans' houses. They were going to attack Long Island in 1776. Thousands of men joined the Continental Army. They were young, mostly poor farmers, fishermen, artisans, some were African. All were volunteers. Some were veterans of the French and Indian War, but most had no idea what they were getting into. 20,000 men in Washington's army in 1776. Nearly 25% were sick at any one given time. In 1903, the U.S. bought the Louisiana Territory thanks to Thomas Jefferson. And then he sent Lewis and Clark out to explore it. In June of 1812, the U.S. declared and invaded Canada. American privateers and many ships fought against British vessels. And in response for its burning Toronto, the English burned much of Washington, D.C., including the White House. But they did not seize the Baltimore harbor, and that's where we got the Star-Spangled Banner. Andrew Jackson became a hero after the War of 1812 in the Battle of New Orleans. It unfortunately was fought after the war was technically over. Slow communications. We moved to northern Mexico, called Texas. Became independent in 1845. Didn't like the way the Mexicans were treating them. At that time, we believed in manifest destiny. The U.S. should go from coast to coast. What's left of the Alamo after the Mexicans defeated the people who were there, and virtually all of them were killed, including Davy Crockett. Took place before the Civil War. A lot of West Pointers who fought in the Civil War on both sides fought in this war. Robert E. Lee and Ulysses Grant both fought in the Mexican War. Battle of Bull Run. The Northerners thought they would whip the Southerners, and it didn't turn out that way. The Union went skedaddling back to D.C. Southerners got their first big victory. Leonard Barton, who was a Civil War nurse who later founded the American Red Cross. More soldiers died from disease than died from battlefield killing. The Battle of Antietam, Lee had crossed the Potomac He went into Maryland in September of '62. And on September 17th, Lee met General McClellan in the bloodiest single day of fighting in the war, indeed in American history. Union casualties were 12,400, including 2,100 killed, after Southern casualties were 10,300, including 1,550 killed. The outcome was a stalemate, and Lee retreated to Virginia. The ship that was involved in the siege at Vicksburg, trying to get rid of the Confederates at Vicksburg for a couple years. And finally he did a siege. The siege was 7 weeks long. On July 4th, Vicksburg surrendered. About the same time, the Union won the battle at Gettysburg.